The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Wednesday, the 27th day of March, 2024. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Windows, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamel Hartman. Teo Dill will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in his news break brought to you by Peoples. Well, folks, it's Wednesday. It's hump day. Technically, it's not the middle of the work week if it's a holiday on the Friday, right? So we kind of we're on the other side of the traditional work week. So we're closer to many of you's favorite time of the week, which is the weekend. Yeah, we're closer to the weekend. And that means it's, isn't this week called Holy Week in the Christian community? Like, I think it's Holy Week. So Good Friday and then Easter coming up. So that means a bunch of neighborhoods smelling like fish cakes and, ooh, the sweet smell of hot cross buns. Anybody out there cooking fish cakes or making hot cross buns? Like, anybody want to ship anything to South Florida? Let me know. I am accepting gifts of that nature. So let me know what you plan on doing. Anyway, greetings everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Shomari Talbot-Woolridge on from the Bermuda Progressive Labour Party's youth wing, Progressive Minds. The Daily Play is a music question today, so we'll see who's going to be joining. I believe it was Ray Kai, Tanya, and Stacey Ann, who'll be joining them to be eligible for this week's prize, which we'll be doing tomorrow since there's no show on Friday. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we continue to do our part to improve our community. All right, let's jump right into it. Teo said he's got slow roasted leg of lamb, some Brussels sprouts with bacon and Parmesan shavings. I don't want to say yuck to anyone's food, but I don't eat none of that. Lamb, bacon, I'll eat Brussels sprouts, but Parmesan shavings, man, I ain't coming to your house. I guess that's his way of telling me I'm not invited anyway. Suzanne Ingham says, awesome Wednesday, Jamel. Yes, it's Holy Week. Yes, fish cakes and hit hot cross buns. Yummy, yummy. So Suzanne, she will be sending me some fish cakes, hot cross buns. Well, folks, along with Good Friday this week and it's Holy Week, guess what today is? Guess what we're celebrating on the Daily Hour today? The first person, we're going to do something. The first person to guess in the comments what we're celebrating today on the Daily Hour will be eligible for Friday's prize. What are we celebrating? Let's see who's tuned in. The first person to write in the comments that shows up on our end to tell us what we're celebrating on today's episode of the Daily Hour will get they will be eligible to win Friday's prize. Let us know, audience. What are we celebrating today on the Daily Hour? Let us know. Let's see who can get it right. What are we celebrating today on the Daily Hour? Let's play the music because ain't nobody. Let's see. Let's put them under some pressure. What are we celebrating? Somebody got it. There you go. The 900th episode of the Daily Hour. And thank you. 900 episodes, which is huge for any show. But yeah, we're celebrating 900 episodes. And let me just make sure Ebony Souza gets in that draw, because we did promise Ebony Souza will get in that draw. So the question of the morning: when did you start watching the Daily Hour? We're going to have some fun. When did you start watching the Daily Hour? I know there's been some day ones in the audience, but when did you start? When did you start watching the Daily Hour? When did you start watching the Daily Hour? Let us know in the audience. And thank you, Ebony Souza. We appreciate you. Maya, that's cheating. Maya said 900 episodes, so that's cheating. But yeah, 900 episodes. And yes, Teresa Marie, thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. And Suzanne Ingham says October 2023. Oh, you're a late bloomer, Suzanne. But we appreciate you. And we love the fact that you're still hanging with us. Adeline Swan said May 4th, 2020. There you go. That's the day we started. May 4th, 2020. So she has been a day oneer. Maya was waiting till someone said it first about the 900 episodes. Charles H. Jobs II says day one, March 4th, 2020. He's been hanging around with us since then. And we appreciate Brother Charles, who has been active and engaging in the audience, like Adeline Swan. But let us know, when did you start tuning in? We've got, yep, she loves TDH, she says, Suzanne Ingham. NTS says May 2020 as well. Okay, good stuff. Thank you. We appreciate it. He said May 2020. Maya says, I probably started watching it like episode 80, 100. Okay. So that would probably still be 2020. Yeah, that would be 2020. Because in the first years of the Daily Hour, we didn't really take breaks. I think the only breaks we took were cot match and any holiday, but we didn't take many more breaks. Sancho Dorm says March 2022, when my mummy started from, oh, Maddox said that. Well, that means Maddox missed his mom on the show. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even supporting his mother when she was a guest on the show. Come on, brother. Oh, he was in school. Sorry. He was in school. Pamela Wade says, from the beginning, yes, Nana Pam has been a day one. We've got Kathy Rogers. Yes, another name, day one, way back. Yeah, let us know. And while you're doing that, like, when did you start watching TDH? Also, let us know. I mean, what's one of your favorite memories? What's one of, not your favorite, because I know you probably have many, but what's one of your favorite memories on the show? What's one of your favorite memories on the show? All right, let us know. What's one of your favorite memories on the show? And I'm okay if you say one of my jokes of the day. That's okay. All right. I know. But what's one of your favorite memories on the show? Let us know what's something that stands out and is memorable to you. Renee Simmons says she's been a day oneer, May 2020. Yeah, certain names I just remember. I remember you all in the audience. I do. And we appreciate you. Who else? Got a day one. But what's one of your favorite memories on the show? You know, especially from those who've been tuned in from the beginning, but even someone like Suzanne, who's just only been tuned in since October. What's some of your most memorable, episodes or things that have happened? It could be one of my jokes. It could be one of them. It could be you winning. It could be one of your favorite guests or discussions. But what's one of your most memorable moments from TDH? Let us know in the audience. I have many. I remember, I like when the young people come on. Is it Adira? She was the youngest guest ever. I think she was like 6 or 7. She was very young. And then we had Shawande Butterfield's mom. Forgive me, I don't remember her name at this time, but she came on to talk about the Gombe costumes and went in depth. That was one of my favorites. Memorable times on the show. What else? I think there's so many. I mean, I don't want to pick one. Like I think the cop match episodes in the early days, the day before cop match on the show, when we would have banter with all the hosts on the show. Those used to be really cool and crazy engaging. But yeah, it's a lot. I think Man, it's so many. 900. It's hard to think of a few of 900. Headley and Swan says, too many fond memories. Too many fond memories. We've got Sam Cat Play saying, winning all the time. Not lucky like Sherry would say, just blessed. Winning. Oh, so what did you win all the time? You won like daily play and stuff? I can't remember. It's so many. Ray Kai says, I think for me it was two moments. My first trivia win a few days ago. Hey, bro was happy. I'm happy for you. You know what? I'm happy when people win it because it's like I actually watch shows. I attend different shows and stuff, and I try to win trivia every week. No lie, and I've never won. So I can relate to people who like see other people winning all the time and never get the chance to win. So I'm with you, bro. I rate you. The second was probably both Mark Bean interviews. Yeah, I will say this. I mean, Mark definitely attracts an audience. And I think when it comes to politics, and this is no offense to any other politician in Bermuda, I think Mark has a way of, when he's on this show at least, he has a way of engaging people where they are. You don't get any anger out of him, like how he's been portrayed in the media a lot. You get a person who actually comes across like they love and care about the community. So I think this is a place of comfort for the Honorable Mark Bean. Thank you. Rosalind Famous says, happy 900th episode. Ray Kai says 900 is a lot. It is a lot. And I'm proud of, I want to say this. I mean, I'm proud of everyone who's been a part of all 900 episodes, contributed. I haven't been a part of every episode. I know Phil and Maya have both filled in for me. I think Phil at least twice and Maya once. So I think I'm about 897, but it's a lot. My body is so used to waking up this early now, but it's a lot to do it all the time. That's why we do take more breaks now, but it's not easy. I keep telling people it's more than just waking up and turning on your computer and talking. There's a lot of preparation that goes into it. You've got to make sure you have the right setting. You have to make sure that, your opinions are backed with facts. You don't want to get sued, right? It's so much to it, right? And that, I think, is the key to longevity, making sure that you build a level of credibility and trust with all of you to ensure that we remain relevant enough to keep going. So this show would be nothing without all of you engaging with us regularly about things that matter to you. Renee Simmons says, the day that you, Jamal, was upset with the leader of the country, you was brought to tears. It really bothered me. That's her most memorable. Yeah. And I think that's the day that I understood how much I love Bermuda. And I didn't feel that the leader of the country did. I think that was the day. Charles H. Jeffs II says, I love the wisdom of people like Ellen Kate Horton, Sir John, Florence Maxwell. I'll say this much. I appreciate and love and respect the fact that Sir John, Miss Florence Maxwell, and Ellen Kate Horton, former Speaker Randy Horton, the Honorable Premier, former Premier Dr. The Honorable Ewart Brown, various business people, Frank Emerald, Zach Monis, Tamara Richardson, name them, the Honorable Mark Bean, Curtis Dickinson, Renee Ming. Even the various people, Rashida Godwin and Cordell Riley. I can go on, Dr. Krika Weldon, so many people who have trusted this platform and continue to trust it to engage a live audience. It's something we do that's very different. I think, I make comments about this show often that, we're the only just straight talk show, right? That's daily in Bermuda. Some shows play music, right? We're all talk. So when you tune into this show, look, we're about to have community conversations. That's why we built it. That's why we created it, so that every last one of you can engage on things that matter to you. That's why we're here, and we just want to keep going. We're looking to hit another 900 episodes, and over the course of the next few months, we'll have a big announcement as it relates to what we'll be doing to celebrate 1,000 episodes, because we are confident that we will make it there and hopefully go 1,000 more as well. But 1,000 episodes is nothing to look down on. It is a lot of work. Again, the entire team, everyone who's been a part of this, even Maddox, who is the youngest contributor ever to the Daily Hour. He interviewed his mom, I think, a couple weeks ago, and that was part of Maya's news break. All right, so let's go back to the comments. Nicole Hassel says your interview with the premier, and he barely looked up, just kept writing. I took that as a man who simply could care less. As I've said, I think that David Burt, I could care less whether he ever comes on a show like this. But again, you have to remember context. David Burt and majority of his administration, they go where they're comfortable. They go where they're not going to be challenged. They go where they can control the dynamic. Now, I don't know this for sure, and I could be speaking on a turn, and she could correct me. But Maya probably conducts the most exclusive interviews as a one-man show in Bermuda. When was the last time she's actually had the premier or one of his close allies interviewed with her, right? The premier will go where he's comfortable. This isn't a place where people like him or his colleagues should be comfortable. This is a place where they should be able to come, where you all get to engage them and ask them questions that you care about. If he doesn't have the respect enough to look up and not take notes while you're engaging him, this isn't about me, then that tells you what he deserves come election day. And when I say he deserves, I'm speaking about anyone who is riding with him as a colleague on election day, even if it's not him. So that person in constituency 10, that maybe announced tomorrow, that's the premier. Every person that sits on that ballot, just put David Burt's face there. Because without your vote for that person, he can't remain premier. Keep that in mind. You'll get me off on a tangent. Media Maya says, excuse me, I hosted Lynn twice. Sorry, my bad, twice. So I'm down to 896, folks. Yes, she did. Yeah, and she said my most memorable episodes were on sex education, the dealing with grief ones, and of course, the Olympians. Actually, Maya, I want to touch on that, the grief. I think it was last year, 2023 or 2022, we started the year with a bunch of episodes on mental health. Now, again, I have nothing to do with the organizing of guests. That's really Shonta, who organizes guests. Whenever someone reaches out to me about being on the show, I direct them in that way because that's just, I don't step on toes. But credit to Shonta, who I've say in private to her, does a fantastic job of getting the right guests on the Daily Hour and ensuring that it's people who are interested in engaging the audience, able to engage the audience, and are of value, can come and help the audience solve a problem. So credit to Shonta in the background as well. Most memorable, Suzanne Ingham says, jokes, TDH crew that come on. I look forward to Maya's news updates and weather. TDH crew input, great guest. The only gripe is the Bermuda trivia when it's worldwide questions, or did I miss something? Well, it's not Bermuda trivia, it's the Daily Play. She says, look, Jamel, I just love TDH. I look forward to this show every day. And we appreciate you, honestly. Without you, people like yourself, Suzanne Ingham, this show would be pointless. So we appreciate your contribution. Did you get Bermuda that question about Bermuda right yesterday about Clarence Nicky Saunders, Suzanne? Did you know it? Sam Cat Play says, Sir John's interviews were my favorite, and Curtis Dickinson. So you like the intellectual politicians, I see. All right. Pamela Wade says, I love all the knowledge and fun I have gained from this show. Thank you, Nana Pam. And Charles, of course, is taking my side, short memory. Look, I just want to say a big love to, the crew, man. I mean, starting with Shonta and Keitha in the back that do so much to ensure that we, stay focused and keep things going. All those who probably don't want to be named that support this show. Some of my favorites, Sherry, who I torment the most. You all don't know, like, I'll just wake up one day. You know how I say I don't wake up and say I'm going to annoy you all or come to offend anyone? I might wake up and say, I haven't spoken to Sherry. And I will say, knock, knock, what, Jamel? And, we'll go from there. So, yeah, I appreciate these allowing me to annoy them, as well as I do appreciate, Sancha and Maddox have bought their energy. Larry and Mason, you saw Mason make his debut last week, folks, on camera. Phil has been a great contributor as well over the years. And of course, Maya, who doesn't sleep, always making sure that this is the place, along with Teo, where you get stuff first. Perry and Rajay, who've contributed greatly over the last few months when no one is available. So it's been a ride, and again, we appreciate you all so much. But let's bring Teodil in for the news break, and then we've got a guest, Shomari Talbot-Woolridge from Progressive Minds today. But let's keep celebrating this 900 episodes. That's more than Fresh Prince, Friends combined, actually. Hey, Tay Weezy.
Morning, Jay. Morning, audience. And yeah, like shout out, big ups, significant props on this accomplishment. That's a huge, huge deal. And for the folks that are at least familiar a little bit with the broadcast space, they know how big a deal hitting a number like that is. Like for 1,000, like everybody that loves this show, you got to show out. Like it's a big, significant accomplishment.
Yeah, Tay. I think again, you want to reach certain heights when you're doing things, but I read a quote last week, and it's like, in order to accomplish the goal, focus on the work, not the end, right? And we're so focused on just doing this every day that when you're looking at the calendar, you're not looking at how many episodes, you're looking at who's the guest, who's upcoming, what's the conversation, what's going on in the news. So honestly, I'm humbled that we've been able to last this long. And I'm just looking forward to more growth, and over the time and over the years, people like yourself have come to enhance what we're doing. It took a while to get everyone on. It wasn't easy, like from yourself to Maya, everyone, Sancha, everyone, it wasn't an easy yes, because every one of you understood how much work it's going to take to do it. And you have families, you have lives, and you have other projects that you're working on. So we appreciate all of you contributing as well.
Thank you, man. I'm deeply grateful and remain excited about getting to 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. Like that's the kind of trajectory the show is on, I think.
There you go, man. There you go. What you got in the news today?
Well, some really good news to start with. We've got a brand new full-time ENT surgeon in Bermuda in the person of Dr. Giuseppe Grando. Now, Dr. Grando's hiring by ENT Health Practice Limited was motivated, at least in part, by the ongoing shortage of ear, nose, and throat specialists on the island. He brings over 20 years of medical experience to local patients. And according to ENT Health Practice founder and head surgeon Dr. Wesley Miller, quote, with his international expertise, the practice will also be able to address a broader range of complex cases and provide cutting-edge treatment options. Now, all this really matters for Bermuda due to the high incidence of respiratory issues in our community, particularly asthma, as explained during the most recent World Asthma Day event by Health Minister Kim Wilson.
It is estimated that 1 in 5 children and 1 in 10 adults have asthma. And to quote Liz, asthma is common, distressing, disabling, misunderstood, life-threatening, and treatable. Hospital statistics show that on average, 4 people visit the emergency department daily for asthma and breathing concerns.
That made me feel so irresponsible, because they diagnosed me with asthma last October, and I don't even know where my pumps are.
Seriously?
You heard me coughing. And I shouldn't say that out loud, because my dear friend, she's going to text me in a minute and be mad because she gets angry because I haven't taken my pump or anything. But you heard me hacking right before we came on. Yeah.
Man, don't play with this. Like we're in our 40s, man. Yeah. We got to take this stuff serious.
I'm responsible, folks. I'm being dead serious.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least I'm glad you acknowledged it. Mm-hmm. And we'll do better in the future.
I will.
As in other news, as per the long-standing tradition, King Charles III is going to have a special gift from Bermuda for the upcoming Easter weekend. Governor Rena Lowgee, joined by Jacob Hawkins, selected Bermuda Easter lilies as a gift for the British monarchs, King Charles and Queen Camilla. The Easter lilies were selected from Pacheco and Sons Farms and left on Bermuda's BA London run with the expectation that they'll reach Windsor Castle in time for Good Friday. Now, we all know, at least in principle, about Bermuda's longstanding history as being the home for uniquely lovely Easter lilies, but less of us are aware of how we came to get that reputation in the first place. With this beautiful background footage provided by our friends at Bernews, the Easter lily landed in Bermuda in 1855 in the luggage of Dr. Bernard Bettelheim. He was an Anglican missionary sailing back home to the UK from Japan. The ship got damaged in transit, was diverted to Bermuda for repairs. Now, he stayed on the island for a month, got a lot of help from a couple of Bermudians. And to thank both men, the Bethelheims gifted them bulbs that they'd taken from Japanese lilies. The flowers bloomed for Easter and over time became known as the unique Bermuda Easter lily. Now, interestingly, between 1927 and 1941, 2/3 of the local acreage devoted to growing lilies was in St. David's. Now, this might have continued up until this day, if not for World War II and the U.S. Army's construction of Kinley Field, which pushed the local lily farmers out of their traditional growing spots. I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, you know what? I'm going to let Charles H. Jefferson II start some trouble. He says, I thought we couldn't export plants. This guy.
Well done, Charles. That was a good one.
It really was, actually.
Yeah. No, that's joke of the morning there. Good job, bro. And also, and this is finally for this morning, UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is headed for a shellacking in this year's general election after the 63rd Conservative MP has announced they're out of politics after this year. Now, Education Minister Robert Halfon sent the PM a letter confirming his resignation after representing Harlow since the 2010 general election. This follows the departure of former Armed Forces Minister, who also quit yesterday afternoon, while former Prime Minister Theresa May also announced her departure from politics early this month. Now, the precedent this trend looks like it following should have the Tories shaking in their collective boots. If you'll recall, the new Labour Tony Blair-led landslide in 1997, 75 Conservative MPs quit Parliament in the lead up to that election, and the election is going to be in November. We're already at 63. It's looking bad for him, basically. And Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer, Her Majesty's leader of the opposition in the UK, he underlined this point recently during the Prime Minister's questions time, straight up rinsing Rishi Sunak on the floor of the columns. This is a good one. I wish our local politicians would move a little like this sometimes.
See why he doesn't want an election. Yeah. Why his party have lost faith in. Why half his cabinet are lining up to replace him. No answers, no plan, no clue. And the Prime Minister has never had the courage to stand up to his party. So let me help him out and say to them what he wishes he could. The mortgage mayhem, the waiting list, the criminals walking free, they are the costs of Tory chaos. And if they can't bring themselves to stop the endless games and gimmicks, stop putting themselves before country, they should pack up, go home, and waste somebody else's time. It wasn't that difficult, was it, Prime Minister?
Yeah.
Is it me, or did anyone else have to really concentrate to understand him?
Really? You can't follow that accent?
He's from up north, huh?
Midlands,
north.
I think.
Midlands, yeah. He definitely ain't from London, but I said I had to concentrate. I can't understand, bro.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you had that thing. Are you one of those Bermudians? And I say this because I think it is. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Are you one of those people that have trouble with accents generally?
No, I have. I think with Manchester United had Sir Alex Ferguson, who was Scottish, and I remember players saying that it was so hard to understand him. But I actually would rather read what he was trying to say rather than listen to him, because it was just so unique to me.
Okay, because I know there's a lot of people that have. I think it's just one of those things that, like, when people are born different. Like, there's some folks that can hear English accented in any number of ways, like Japanese to Punjabi, and it's fine. Like, you just get it. And there's other people that just don't. Like, it's difficult for them.
And I that sense, but football has helped me. Honestly, it's helped me understand a lot of different dialects of English.
Yeah. No, the global game, that's what it helps. One of the things that it helps. Now, as far as weather is concerned, this week, the rest of this week, I should say, should be largely free of the bursts of rain that nearly wrecked my daughter's sports day at Nationals yesterday. Well done to Amelia in Port Royal Primary. Well done. Very appropriate, Jay. Thank you very much. The next 48 hours should be largely dry and bright, with a chance for a handful of showers here and there. However, a cold front is expected to arrive by Good Friday, bringing us a bit more rain in the afternoon alongside some good strong winds for kite flying. So,
All right.
yeah.
So, and Tate, I hope you don't mind me saying, but you're going to something very heartwarming right now.
Oh, yes, I am very excited about it. So as you all know, this reminds me of something else. My wife and I, we had our marvelous baby, Emery, just a few months ago. And today is her introduction to nursery. So we are a little emotionally verklempt at the moment because it's a big transition, but we're so grateful for the space that we were able to secure and the marvelous team at this nursery school. And yeah, so it's bittersweet.
I know you don't like taking pictures and stuff, but can you ask your wife Wendy to send us a picture of you crying your heart out, please?
Well, here's the thing: you don't necessarily have to ask, because just because you've mentioned it, she will happily pass it along because she's one of them.
We appreciate it. No, man, honestly, I'm happy for you. And Teo makes my day when he sends pictures of Emery over, and she's just the cutest cutie in the world. So Tay, good luck today and all the best as she starts her journey into the spaces with other children.
Yeah, she's going to be in school for the first time, and I'm just really grateful. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, audience, and I guess I'll see you next week. Enjoy the holiday.
Cool. Have a good one. All right, Teodil, folks. Before we go, actually, let me give you a days of the year. So it is World Theater Day. World Theater Day. So World Theater Day was initiated in 1962 by the International Theater Institute as a day to pay respect to celebrate the beauty, creativity, hard work, and artistry that goes into all aspects of theater production. So, question of the morning to you all regarding days of the year: what's your favorite theater play you've ever been to? Your favorite theater play? I lived in New York City, so I've been to quite a bit of Broadway shows. Pretty Woman, The Aladdins. I would have to say Motown. No, I've been in Vegas too. The Beatles. I've been to Michael Jackson one in Vegas, but I would have to say the Motown on Broadway was my favorite. Motown. If you've been to theater, what was your favorite? Polly Ritt said she also had a hard time understanding that British MP. Suzanne Ingham says, yeah, I had to drown out the racket coming at him while he spoke. I just want to give a big thank you to Mark Arthur C. Phillips. He says, well, 900 episodes, what an accomplishment. Congrats. And thank you for the $5 contribution. And I'll say this to everyone and anyone. We appreciate your support, and especially when it's financial, because it does take money for us to do this and make this happen. So thank you, Mark, for not only being a supporter in the comments and engaging, but being a financial supporter to ensure that this remains rewarding, but also financially viable to do for us. And if anyone else wants to make a financial contribution to us, you can do that by contacting us directly at engage@thedailyhour.com, or you can do what Mark has done through YouTube by becoming an official member of our channel, which is available to every last person. We give away a lot, but hey, we do receive gifts as well. We've got Suzanne Ingham says, be brave, Teo, be brave, you can do it. Nursery today, college tomorrow. Trust me, it goes by fast, says Charles A. Jefferson. So favorite theater. Teresa Marie says, Les Miserables. We've got Anika De Shield. She says, The Lion King. Have I seen The Lion King? I think I may have seen that. Hedley and Swan says, The Lion King in New York City. Yep. Rondell Richardson says, A Wicket in New York City. Suzanne Ingham says, I never liked theater. I'm the worst at acting. I prefer to keep things real. Yeah, Maya had me out there trying to act this weekend, and I failed. I'm not an actor. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We've got Shomari Talbot-Woolridge coming up from Progressive Minds, which is the youth wing of the Bermuda Progressive Labour Party. Stick with us as we gear up for a conversation about the future of Bermuda's politics.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level.
All righty, welcome back to the big show. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. Please don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Folks, if you've appreciated this 900th episode of the Daily Hour, just do one favor. It costs you nothing. Please give us a like, love, follow, subscribe, join, and share these conversations with your friends, your family, your colleagues. That's the best gift you can give us, because we appreciate you and we want to keep going. So make sure you help us with the algorithms. All right, without further ado, let's bring in our guest for the day. We've got Shomari Talbot-Woolridge coming on from the Bermuda Progressive Minds. Let's give him a warm TDH welcome like we know how. All right. Good morning. Welcome, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I'm all good. How are you?
I'm good. You are. I don't know who planned this. I don't know if you planned it or Shanta, but you came on a very special day as we celebrate 900 episodes of the show. So welcome to the party.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I know it's probably a difficult process getting 900 strong. So congratulations and keep it up.
Well, yes, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And this show was created for people like yourself and organizations like what you represent to come on and engage live with our audience. So let's jump right into it. Just tell the audience a bit about yourself and how you got involved in the political process.
Well, became a member of the PLP about 18 months ago, basically because I wanted to be a part of change in my country. And of course, I was more aligned with many of the goals and the aspirations and policies and initiatives that the Progressive Labour Party have in their platform and whatnot. But I wanted to get involved because, number one, I felt like the party needed more youth, young people being involved in not just the um, political side, but just the minutia of the party, the interworkings of the party, to really make it more geared towards younger people. Of course, we have an aging population, and that's the same within the PLP. Only 8% of the PLP is under the age of 35, compared to the broader electorate, which is that same demographic. Of course, you can only vote at 18. You could be a youth member, which goes all the way to 0 years old. But 8% versus the broader electorate, which was just under 20%, it was a very contrasting, especially because as young people, we are more progressive, we are more left leaning in our political nature. So it made sense to organize young people within the party so that we can, number one, have a unified voice for the things that we wanted to push, the initiatives that we wanted to see our party take up. And then, of course, we wanted to make sure that we were educating ourselves about the political process. So many people in our country, they say things, they want things done, but they don't understand how the political system in our country works. So it's about educating our people and organizing our
I want to go back because I don't want you to answer everything in one thing. That was literally about you and why you got involved in politics. But I want to stop you because I'm still stuck on only 8% in the PLP under 30.
Under 35, and
Under 35.
which is obviously a shocking number, of course, because it is that a wide generational gap within our party. And it is something that we see not just in our party, but within our country, where there's a gap and a disconnect between generations, especially when we talk about the things that are front of mind, the things that we want, especially as people under the age of 35. So it's about making sure that this party is more reflective of the aspirations that younger people want to see our country to be.
So with that said, what is the role of Progressive Minds as a youth wing of the Bermuda Progressive Labour Party?
Well, number one is to organize our young people within our party, not just working within the party, but working with organizations like, I know you have Bermuda is Love one on your show, Bermuda Youth Connect. These are just some of the organizations we have worked with and want to continue to work with in the future. And then, of course, it's education. It's about educating not just about the Progressive Labour Party, but our political system as a whole.
Well, what is what is your actual role in this organization, and why do you feel, you said when I asked you about yourself, you chose the PLP 18 months ago, but what's your actual role within the Progressive Minds, and why was the PLP right for you? Like what was it about PLP that aligned with you most?
Well, firstly, the first question. Um, I'm the chairman of the Progressive Minds, which is like I said, the youth wing. We are you know, we try to be as autonomous as possible, but of course, still within the organization of the PLP. And then when it comes to the Progressive Labour Party, I think that most of us, especially as young people, the things that we want, many of those things, um, many of the initiatives that the government are taking out, whether it's universal health care, um, and other issues that I would say, like a minimum wage, even though I am not 100% in agreement of how far they take it, I believe sometimes we can do more. But I do think that the party is doing things that are more progressive towards the working class people of our country. Those initiatives are things that I would like to see our country and our party, sorry, to go further with and to take on, a less timid approach to those things. So that's why I chose the PLP. It's not just when I look at other parties' platforms, I think some things in theirs are good, but I think that overall the PLP, not just historically, but currently today, they are doing more for working class people. So choosing them was something that I personally wanted to um, wanted to do because I think that the party not one could do more, and number two can be pushed to do more. I think that we all saw during the OBA time, it was a lot of people talking and trying to move the OBA into a direction, and they wasn't very responsive to protests and whatnot. But I think that if we as people of this country have more organization and actually make a real effort to push our party and our elected officials to do the things that we want them to do, we can see more change and we can see more um, responsive
Or
response.
if you have any questions or comments for Shomari, please send them through. We'll get through as many as possible. You mentioned earlier about younger people being more progressive, which I completely disagree with. I don't think progressive is reflective of age, gender, or anything. Progressive is a mindset, and I think traditionally and generally, it's young people are not more progressive. I think people are either progressive or they're not. Now, that said, the name Progressive Minds, progressive is in there. What makes the organization and in turn the PLP progressive? Because when you see people in Bermuda, they think this is the most regressive PLP administration we've had, whether it's same-sex marriage. That was a key thing where they did civil unions. What makes the PLP the progressive option or progressive period when it seems the general public would disagree on that?
Well, I think that you are right in some aspects. They're not as progressive as we would like them to be. I think that when I talk about progressive, I'm talking about progressive politics, which is things like a lot of young people today are talking about a 32-hour work week. That is a progressive policy. That is something that we can push our party to be, especially. We want to be more progressive. We want to push our party to be more progressive. What was progressive in 1963 when the party was formed is not necessarily progressive today. And that's why I think that young people who are more, I feel, are more left leaning in our nature many of the times with our politics. We should be able to make that impact. Like I said, it was in 8% of the Progressive Labour Party is under the age of 35. Under the age of 35, yes. So we have to start to, yes, I agree with you. There are some natures and tidbits within the PLP, and some are more broad than others that are not as progressive as we would like it to be. But it's also about organizing our people. It's about organizing. Politics is a game of numbers most of the time, and we have to ensure that we're coming together and consolidating and speaking in one voice to make sure more voices make our voice louder and in unison. So it's about making sure that we're organized. Number one, first and foremost.
Indeed. Got you. Teray Tull says young people are more progressive. It's a trend outside Bermuda. I disagree. I disagree with that highly. I think the media would make us believe that if young people were so progressive, we wouldn't have so many supporters of the ilks of that brother that was the former president in Brazil and Italy, and not even to mention Donald Trump. I don't think young people are as progressive. I think what we do is we surround ourselves and our thoughts and so on with people who we believe are progressive. But she's saying it's not an opinion, it's a fact. But again, I would disagree. It's not a fact because based on voting standards and who wields the power in political positions. I would heavily disagree with that.
Well, I think that, well, I don't want to get into a little tidbit about that, but most of those older voters are conservative in the Republican Party. In Bolsonaro, you just mentioned Bolsonaro's administration. And just like America is an aging population, so is Bermuda. So they hold bulk of the voting power. Yes, there are young people who may fall into the more conservative wing of politics, but most
So
young people.
let me stop you because again, I think we conflate facts with opinion. I live in Florida. Florida was a swing state previously. Florida is pretty much a Republican state. Florida is not a Republican state because of old people. Florida is a Republican state because of mindset and a shift in mindset and actual good politics by the Republicans. Um, it's very interesting that we like to conflate, say that, okay, you gave an example that 32-hour work week is progressive. That's not a fact. That's an opinion right there, right? That we believe that's the best way to go. I don't believe that we should be looking at any type of hours. We should be looking at production. That would be progressive to me. So I don't believe people should have to go to work 9 to 5. I believe work should be based on production. Hey, this is what our goals are. Okay, you come in, you do this, you leave. To me, progressive is not thinking outside the box. It's removing the damn box and throwing it the hell away. So I'm older than you. I'm 42. To me, to some people, they'd say, man, you're just over liberal. I'm not liberal. I don't subscribe to liberalism. Oh, well, you're conservative. I'm not conservative. I'm not modern. I'm black. I serve the interests of the people I love and who love me. That's it, my community. So I think when we think of it in a political context and start thinking of young people being progressive, bro, there's people younger than me that are literally so conservative. And because I put myself in those spaces, if we don't put ourselves in spaces we're not comfortable with, then all we're going to think is what we think and what we know. And those opinions and those feelings then make us believe they're facts. And they're not. That's the reality. So this is not at you. I'm just speaking to young people in general. That again, it's not to me. I'll give the example I gave last week. David Byrd is the youngest premier we've had in the history of Bermuda. Is that not proof that it's not about age? I get your point, and I believe we need young people because that number is scary, only 8% under 35. I get it. I do think we need young people. What I'm simply saying, we don't need young people just because of their age. We need young people because of their mentality. That's my only point with that. And with that said, it seems like young people have become more disengaged politically. You've basically said 8%. What does your organization or what is your organization doing to get young people or keep them interested in the political process?
Well, that's a question that is a big sticking point for us as young people. Of course, not everybody in the PLP, they're under the age of 35. We have a lot of new members who are trying to come on board. I think there is a feeling now in our country that, especially amongst us younger people, that it's time to take up the mantle. And I think that when it comes to the progressive minds, of course, with we're a new organization. Well, in the context of we have a new executive, we're trying to really revamp the youth wing of the PLP. And with that being said, we want to show that we can do the work, that we come together and start to actually engage in the political system, not in our silos. A lot of people are doing great work, whether it's Bermuda is Love or many organizations. They're doing great work out there. But it's time to organize ourselves and see what things we can work together on. Um, I decided I wasn't 100% engaged in the political process before I was a member of the PLP. But instead of tapping out, I decided to tap in instead of walking away and putting my hands up, I decided to say, this is our country, and unless you want to leave to England or wherever else, we're going to have to do the work. And I think that we as Bermudians have to take that pride and appreciation for our country and realize that the work of the past has to continue through us. There are
Mhm.
many people who have done great work in the past, but every generation has a duty and an obligation to continue on the work of the past, to
Mhm.
continue on, whether it's labor legislation, whether it's um, different social things that we can bring into this social contract of our society. Every generation has an obligation to do just that. So it's about getting our young people, number one, like I said before, educated about the political process, and number two, showing them that there is an organization of young people who you can come in.
Oh, we lost him. Not sure what happened, folks. He. All right, I think he's back. Something happened. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Continue. Sorry, something happened.
Well, as I was saying, that there is a group of young people that are heard within the political process. We're trying to make waves. And it's a snowball effect. We don't expect 100 members to come at one time, but we do continue to see a steady influx of members. It's a snowball effect, like I said, and it is one of those things where we are starting to be disengaged, yes, as young people, but I think we're all starting to, and we're looking for a place to where
Mhm.
we can engage as young people, as like-minded young people, especially, and really start to make the changes that we want to see.
What are some of the key issues for progressive minds that they will be pushing the Bermuda Progressive Labour Party to include in their platform for the next election?
Well, that's funny you say that because we're actually working on a platform right now with our members. We have the Honorable Minister Jason Haywood coming to our next meeting. One of the things that we, and I think yourself or the audience members would say, is that our people are leaving our island. So that's one issue that we're trying to formulate an agenda and making sure that we can really do things that are hitting home and understand that we have done some things. I wouldn't say the major, but there are some things where we have brought it to the party of the party, and we've said, look, these things need to be changed. We have a lot of opportunities, not just to work with the ministers and have our ideas and our thoughts and our feelings expressed. So we are in that process of creating our own agenda, getting everybody together and understanding what we are about and what we're for and what we're fighting for, what we're going to push for, and also how we're going to implement those things, how we are going to as a youth wing, how are we going to ensure that our voice is going to be heard?
Mhm. Okay, we've got a question from the audience. And again, if you have any questions or comments from the audience, please submit and we'll do our best to get through them. Michael Daniel says, when you spend significant amount of time trying to bring back yesterday, you are not progressive. Before I go to the next question, I just want to say, like, I'll tell you how it's not an age thing. I remember, and I still believe this. I believe all drugs should be legal. People 10 years younger than me still think that's crazy. People 15 years young, it's not an age thing. I do think all drugs should be legal. I think that prostitution should be legal. Now, people might be saying, "Oh, he's crazy." He did, but no one gives thought. No one thinks to, like, let's have this conversation of what happens if they're all legal. At the end of the day, these things are here for good use, but it's like food, right? What happens if you abuse food? You're probably going to be unhealthy. Too much of anything is not good. If we educate people about drug usage, then we probably wouldn't have the problems that we have with addiction. Prostitution, if it's regulated, you can probably actually cut down on, disease and so on. I say that because, again, young people, not all young people think like that. The majority of young people don't think like that. I don't believe that if we're talking about equity or equality as they want it, equality, then there shouldn't be no gender sports. There should be just one gender, right? We shouldn't have men's leagues and women's leagues, but then it wouldn't be equitable, right? So I think we should be fighting for equity rather than that. But all of that stuff, to me, that's what I see as progressive. People younger than me don't think like that. I've been in too many circles with young people. But I'm not going to say that those people who agree with me represent the majority, because they don't. I know how abnormal my thoughts are. But Amari Simons is saying, it's asking, do you feel that being involved in the party restricts you from criticizing them publicly? Oh boy, here we go.
No, I criticized them just now. I just already said that there are things in the PLP that we are not doing good enough. I mean, I have been someone who has been critical of the Progressive Labour Party since before it was popular to criticize the PLP. And I'll continue to criticize the Progressive Labour Party, whether it's to the Honorable Premier himself or to party members. The PLP is, of course, a party that I want to see do better. And I think as Bermudians, as people within our party, we want the party to do better. And I think as Bermudians, we want our country to do better. So it's not about, I don't feel any qualms about that. Um, I mean, you said it yourself. Our party is not supportive of same-sex marriage. That's
Mhm.
something that I completely disagree with when it comes to our party. And I think that most people in our party may disagree with that, but it doesn't matter to me. I think that when, like I said before, what was progressive in 1963 is not the same exact thing that is progressive today. So I'll continue to criticize the PLP where it is, where I feel fit, where I feel it is justifiable to criticize them, and where I feel that they're doing good, I'll give them their kudos. But um, at the end of the day, I'm not just going to criticize. I'm going to push the party to do better. I'm going to organize my young people and to get into the spaces, to get into the branches of the Progressive Labour Party, to get into the executives of the Progressive Labour Party, to become delegates of the Progressive Labour Party, and even if they don't want to do any of that, they can put their head in the ring and become candidates for the PLP. So it's about, yeah, we can criticize, but we're going to push as well.
All righty. Sine Smith's asking, will you run? Well, you can't run to become a minister. So I think she means, will you run to become a member of parliament in the next election?
I don't have any aspirations to run as a member of parliament. I not at this time. If I did run as a member of parliament, I think I would want to run on my own terms and my own accord. But I have no intentions of running. I have work to do. Um, as of right now, we are trying to build up a base. We're trying to build up uh, uh, a demographic right now. So um, it would be the honor of a lifetime, of course, to represent the people of this country. I would do it if someone approached me and said, I wanted you to run, well, if enough people approached me and said, I wanted you to run, I would definitely give it more real consideration. But as of right now, I have organization work to do. I have organizing work to do. And I don't think it would be intelligent to just run just for the sake of running or run because somebody is gassing my head up. I
Mhm.
think that if I'm going to run and have a team and an army behind me that's going to help me do what I want to do.
Indeed. We've got Charles H. Jeffs a second. He says, can progressive minds encourage the minister to go below the surface and tell us what the government's plan is to reduce the number of immigrating and getting people to return? That's our biggest issue.
Yeah, I agree with you a lot with that, and we're actually at our next meeting, which is at April 2nd. We will be having the minister, and it is a going to be a conversation. It's a consultation process. It's about retaining the workforce, and we are going to be giving our thoughts and our concerns straight to the Minister of Economy and Labor, Minister Jason Hayward. So it, it's about us giving our ideas. We had a meeting last week Tuesday, and it was a lot of the ideas were being regurgitated right there. And now that we have the opportunity to speak directly to the minister who wants our input, who contacted us and wanted to see what we thought, and what our initiatives that we would like to see in order to not just retain the local workforce, but also to get people who have left the island to come back. And obviously, it's become a brain drain. It's something that has been another strain on our economy. So
Mhm.
we are going to have those ideas in our next meeting, put right to the Minister of Economy and Labor, Minister Jason Hayward. And that's a lot of young people have been stressing that from the very first meeting that we had in December to now, that has been something that has been top of mind for young people.
Okay. And speaking of young people, I mean, we're in a time where young people seem disengaged in Bermuda in particular. Um, what would you say to young people who have absolutely no interest in the political process at this point?
Well, I think that it's always a difficult to have, everybody has their jobs and their lives and they're trying to go about it. But like I said before, this is our country. And if we have the same love and appreciation and care for our country, and we genuinely want our country to do better, and we want it to do better, we need to fight for that Bermuda. There has been so much gains by people in the past. And I think we as Bermudians have gotten a little too comfortable with just allowing things to just go along, you know. So it's time for us to really take up the mantle, especially as young people. We have an opportunity. I think we have an opportunity now more than ever, where young people are coming to us and asking how they can get involved. But we have to also, as the progressive minds, make sure that we are doing the correct work, where we're allowing our young people to express themselves and really get their what they want, their dreams, their aspirations for their country to get out there. I mean, we are a country with an immense amount of potential, whether it's um, in any field, really. So we have to tap into that potential. We have to ensure that young people understand, number one, first and foremost, it is our duty to continue on the legacy of of continue on the struggle that we have, especially as Black Bermudians. We should never rest on our laurels and just think that a politician or a king or anybody else is going to do anything to represent our interests. We have to represent our interests first and foremost.
Indeed. Russell Famous asking, is it feasible for that meeting to be shared with the public just so that the public can see the political process in action?
Our meetings are for 35 and under. We do not discriminate if you are not a PLP member. We still would like you to come and join, see what we're about, even though we would want to encourage more membership in the PLP. But we do have a Zoom link where people can, if you visit our Instagram page, one of the best ways that we reach out to people, it's PLP Minds on Instagram. And that is a way that people can join, but it is for young people. It is specifically for 35 and under. We do not allow older people into the space unless it's previously been approved, because it's something just for our younger people. We have from high school students to people just under 35 that come into our meetings, and we want to make sure this is something uniquely for young people. We try to operate as a caucus
So
or
as,
in a
as
political party.
Troy's asking, so anyone under 35, even if they're a member of the One Bermuda Alliance, they can attend.
Well, unfortunately, in the One Bermuda Alliance's constitution, it says that if you are a member of the OBA, you cannot be a member of any other political party. So Malachi, unfortunately, he's a member of the OBA and the PLP. He's come to our meetings. He understands that. I don't know why would an OBA person continuously try to come to our meetings. So Malachi, you should know that as an OBA candidate, maybe you should read your constitution and understand it, because you are a candidate for the OBA, and I mean, you're in violation of your own constitution. So we would welcome you, but we don't recommend it.
All right. But I was going to follow up with this, but Teray said it. You just said you don't need to be a member to come. Which one is it? So I think
You don't have to be a member to come, but if you're a member of another political party, and in their constitution it says that you cannot be a member of both parties at the same time, we do not recommend you coming to our meetings.
no, but
So
I don't think he was asking about himself. He was just saying anyone. I put that extra part in
yes,
there.
anyone under the age of 35 can come. We don't care if you are a member of the PLP or not. We've
Okay.
had non-members come and they continue to come, and we've had non-members that come and they decided to join. And then we have people that have come in and out who are non-members.
All
So
right.
it is one of those things that we want as much people in this space as possible.
Okay. I've got a question. Charles H. Jeffs II. He's saying, how is Mr. Talbot-Woolridge going to ensure that he and other members of Progressive Minds are not just being used by the party so that they can say they're in touch with young people, but are not actively listening?
Well, that was one of my main concerns when I became the chairman. I do not want to just make sure that young people vote for the PLP and then they just fall by the wayside. I'm not trying to sheep herd people into the Progressive Labour Party. That's the last thing that I will want to do as the chairman of the Progressive Minds. I want to create something where it is structured, where it is us getting into the minutia of the Progressive Labour Party. We want people to become actively engaged in the party, not just come in and vote, not just come in and 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 be a part of the Progressive Minds and take a photo op. This is about something that we, like I said, we want to operate like a caucus. Everybody sees in the United States or in the Republican Party, in the Democratic Party, there are different caucuses and factions of those parties. So it's about creating our own faction. It's about creating our own caucus so that we can take our voting power and vote as a block for the things that we want. Like for instance, if there is any initiatives that we want to take up, if there's, I tell all my members to join the Central Committee of the Progressive Labour Party. That is a committee that is where all the things go down. But it is very elderly. It's very aged, very saturated with senior citizens. So if we want to not just vote for the PLP and then after election we go away, no, that's not what I want. That's the last thing that I want to happen when it comes to our membership. I want our membership to be active, involved, and engaged in the workings of our party so that we can actually make that change. Like I said, we want to operate as a caucus with some longevity and with some structure. And that is how we're going to ensure that our initiatives are everything that we want is being pushed for, not just come election time, you vote for the PLP and it's all over. Take a photo up and it's all over. That's the last thing that I want. We want to get involved in the interworkings, right into the pudding of the party.
Teray Tal says, Taj Outerbridge wrote a piece and said that while he was a member of the PLP, older members resisted youth. Is that still the case?
It is still the case in some aspects. Personally, when I came into the party, I was pushed. People in my branch wanted me to do more. They wanted me to get involved. They wanted me to be on different committees and whatnot. For other young people, it's not the same. And this isn't just something unique to the PLP. It's something that's going on across our country. Many young people feel that in the workplace. So it is one of those things where I don't think it's unique to the PLP. I think that's something that our country has to really start to take young people, what we say seriously, what we are. We are members of this society. We are young people who want to be engaged, who want to help, who want to be involved. So I would agree that it is a stigma, or not a stigma, but it is some truth to what you're saying, and some truth to what Taj, who's my predecessor, and I've talked to him one on one about this because, of course, as a young person, I don't want to experience that. But I've had fellow members of our, progressive minds who come up and talk to me about this same issue. And it is something, like I said, you're not unique to this party. It's something that young people are feeling in the workplace as well. And
Yeah.
and
I
and
want
sticking together would be the best thing to do. If we stick together as young people, and when we go into those spaces, more of us.
I echo that, and I agree 1,000% with you. And as Anika said, resistance by seasoned members is an issue with all organizations. That's something that is just norm. But for me, and I mean, at 42, I hope I never get to that place. But I don't know. I feel like if I surround myself with the right people, then their age doesn't matter. I want to bring people who can just get the job done. So if someone who's 20 years old, 18, 25, 26 comes, and they can do it, then let's do it. Like I don't know why people fear young people. I think it's a trust thing. Maybe I think different because I want to retire soon. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to work to death. I think that's what we do, and we never get to enjoy life. No, usher in new people, allow them to come in and make the job of making our community better. So, no, I appreciate you saying that. It definitely isn't just a PLP thing. That's just, I think, that society. It is a society thing. We've got another question. Comment. I think Charles H. Second says, I believe that's what you want, but like in a relationship, it takes two. The modern PLP doesn't have a track record of listening to diverse ideas. Let's talk about ideas. I did ask you earlier about some of the key things that progressive minds would like to push into platform. But I think diversity, I don't like to get stuck on diversity as black, white, male, female, any of that stuff. I think we get lost when it comes to that, because you could put a black face in a white space and that black face isn't representative of black people. I think it really comes down to diversity of thought. How diverse is the thought process among progressive minds, and how strong is that mindset to make a difference in the Progressive Labour Party? Meaning, you just mentioned you disagree on same-sex marriage. How strong are your opinions on that, or your positions, to actually ensure that the PLP moves forward to move the needle on that?
Well, first and foremost, we do have diverse thoughts. I mean, of course, we are a progressive Labour Party, but it still is a a consensus of what the problems are in our country, and we have similar ideas of how we want to solve it. Not everybody is uniform, but we do have diverse when it comes to solving the issues. There are different things that we talk about, and some people are saying one thing and they got a side eye from one person, and they're like, "You really believe that?" But it is one of those things. We've had a lot of spirited debates about, just like our last meeting, we were talking about a lot of issues that we can put to the forefront. Um, and it is one of those things, of course, as young people, we want to be uniformed in our, not in our thought, but when we present a platform, we want to have something where a bulk of the majority believe in, okay, this is what we want to do. And remind me of that last bit of the question again.
You've got me, because I was reading another one, but I was asking you, just reading the other questions here from Charles Jeffers. So let's just move on, because I want to go to this. Antonio Roberts, who I think is a member of Progressive Minds as well, he says younger generations are moving forward, but he also said older generations are not open to change. So this is my question to everyone in Progressive Minds. Why not be like Bermuda Youth Connect or Bermuda is Love? Why not create something new rather than joining something that already exists? Why go to something that already exists? Is it the foundation that's set?
Well, when I came into the party, like I said, this youth wing was not very active. It was dormant, in my opinion. And I would completely agree that Bermuda Youth Connect and Bermuda is Love, they're doing a great job, and we have worked with them, especially Bermuda is Love. But you can't just, like I said before, we are in our silos a lot of the time in Bermuda. What I would like to see is an inside-outside game where we're in the inside doing the work and they're on the outside doing the work. And we link up all the time, and we making sure we're holding you accountable in the inside and you're holding us accountable on the outside. So that's what I would like to see, an inside-outside game. We're not just saying, oh, we have to be outside of here. I think the PLP still has the structure and the organization and whatnot to do some great positive things in our country. But like I said, it's about young people getting more involved and directly involved in the minutia of the party. I keep messing up that word. And ensuring that what we want is advocated for. A lot of the things that Bermuda is Love promotes, well, universal health care, we completely support that, and we want our party to focus on that with more urgency, go after that with more urgency. So it's about that inside outside game, and how we, Bermuda is Love, Bermuda Youth Connect, Bermuda Future Leaders, they're working on the outside while we're working on the inside, and we're coming together at many points and talking to each other and making sure and holding each other accountable on both ends.
I appreciate it. Antonio Roberts says sometimes you need to be in the same room for change to happen. It doesn't happen overnight. Martin Luther King didn't change everything overnight. He fought and fought and fought. While some people will say we've been fighting and fighting and fighting, and that change is taking longer than Dr. King. And some say you don't actually need to be in the same room for things to happen. Some of the, greatest Black activists were never politicians, and they brought about change, right? And Dr. King, to use that same person, is right. He never actually became a politician.
I I agree with that, but also they pushed the politicians to
They
do
did.
what they want. JFK didn't do what was it? I'm forgetting it,
Lyndon
but
B. Johnson after JFK.
the
Yeah.
first person I can think of was Asa Philip Randolph during the FDR era. You know,
Mhm.
literally threatening FDR with the first Million Man March that not many people know about, to have a million black people on the at the National Monument, Washington Monument. So that threat right there alone was something that
Mhm.
um, that made him act and allow black people to work in the
Mhm.
federal level in the government.
Yeah.
So it is.
Shomari Talbot says progressive ideas are shut down on this island because no one wants to step outside the box. How does progressive minds encourage ideas in a community that ridicules people that who think differently?
Well, it is one of those things where we're going to have to really start to fight. I think that one of the biggest problems with our country is that we are afraid of change. We are afraid of stepping out there. It's almost, even if it's a good idea, a bad idea, or whatever you think about it, no matter what, it seems like our people have been timid of making changes. But if we keep on staying in the same place, if we keep on staying in the same place and not doing nothing, not acting, we're never gonna get anywhere. We're gonna sink. So we're gonna have to make some movements, and we have to really I open up our people's imagination to what is possible. We have to really start to think outside the box. I mean, our country is a small country, and the things that we have done in the past were absolutely unique, from the way that we collect our rainwater to so many things in our country that are just unique to our country. No one else in the world can do it. So we have to start thinking like those people way back then. We have to start thinking with a little bit of eccentricity
Mhm.
to the way our thought, because we are a very unique country. So we are going to take very unique ideas in order to ensure and in order to progress our country.
So obviously, this is public that I was a member of the Bermuda Progressive Labour Party from my early 20s. There have been many people over the years who were involved in the Progressive Labour Party, young people who were in progressive minds, no longer involved, or some even just in other parties now. What's your threshold? And what I mean by that is you feel good about it now, you believe you can go in and make change. A lot of people felt that way. But what is that key thing? We all have key issues that you will not budge on as an individual.
Well, I have a few key things that I would say are, my threshold. But right now, it's about pushing the party to see how far they would go, and to see if this party is still a vehicle for the change that I want, and I know a lot of the progressive minds want.
Mhm.
So I would say right now, I don't have a specific threshold for the party, but I
Mhm.
do have a how far can I push them? I
Mhm.
think that would be what I'm looking at. How far can we go? How um, that would be what I would say. I don't want to put my personal threshold. Like I said, there's a lot of things in the PLP that I don't support, and there's some things that I absolutely do support and want to see them to do more of or go further with. Um, but I wouldn't say that I'm putting a threshold on it. I'm just going to see how far I can push the party. And then if I can't push any more, well, then I can assess it then and see where I can go after that.
All right, sure. Just tell people if they were interested in getting in touch, learning more, becoming members of Progressive Minds, who can they reach out to? How can they contact?
Well, firstly, our next meeting, sorry, is on April 2nd. That will be at 7 p.m. in the last hall. We also do it via Zoom. They can email us at plp.progressiveminds@gmail.com. Hit up our Instagram page as well. Any of our executives or our PRO or myself, they can get to you. That's PLP.Progressive Minds. You can hit me up on Instagram at STW.441. You can hit me up personally. And then we do have some events coming up. We have a sip and paint that we're going to be having on April 20th. That's going to be a flyer dropping soon on that. So if you follow our Instagram, and you can come out and get involved. And of course, this is something that, if you just want to have a chat, don't necessarily have to become a member. Like I said, if you just want to have a chat, just hit any of us up who are a part of the organization already. We have even if you just want to collaborate, if you have an initiative that you think that would be good for us to push. And like I said, it's all about us coming together and organizing. And I hope that as much people as possible see the value in organization and not just, jumping in the political ring, just organizing first, getting as much people in our circle. Like I said, we're trying to operate as a caucus. So that's, again, our Instagram page, PLP.Progressive Minds, or you can hit me up personally, STW.441.
Shomari, thank you so much. And I will say this, and I mean it genuinely, all the best to yourself and your colleagues. I know so many who have been there. If you can stick it out and make the change that you want to see, I'll tell you one thing, you'll have my support, because I think the island needs a lot of the change that you're hoping to bring. So thank you for having this conversation extended, and we'll be in touch with you, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for all your crew and everyone.
Thanks much. All right, Shomari, Talbot-Woolridge. Folks, if you appreciated that conversation, found it helpful, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. We're going to take our final break, and we'll come back, and someone is going to be eligible to win big on Thursday, tomorrow. So stick with us. Don't go anywhere.
Hi there. Welcome to Medical House. We're located at number 6 Bakery Lane. I can't wait to show you all of the great stuff that we carry. Come on inside. Let's see. Let's kick it off in the footwear department. When it comes to footwear, we carry functional, comfortable, orthopedic, and waterproof shoes. We have construction shoes, golf shoes, shoes for walking, shoes for boating. We even have shoes for pickleball. We have shoes for everyone. With brands by Skechers, Atrax, Propay, Easy Street, Nursemates, Clogs, Avenger, Cherokee, Cat, Frog Talks, and DeWalt. The list goes on. Take a look at our workwear for construction workers and tradesmen. Durable, stretchable in all the right places, and plenty of options for tools and accessories. Pair with our wide range of tough and comfortable footwear. You can't go wrong. Long days, long shifts, you no longer have to endure comfortable underwear. Designed by nurses, we now offer premium undergarments by Swoop that are unique, fun, comfortable, and functional. The only underwear you'll ever want to wear. Who says high-quality functional products can't be stylish and comfortable at the same time? Speaking of stylish, we also have top-quality running, walking, and workout apparel by Skechers in a variety of sizes for men and women. Cool, breathable, and dry. With our wide selection of Skechers footwear, you'll look great before, during, and after your workout. As you can see, Medical House really is a one-stop shop for everybody. We can't wait to see you.
You'll be surprised at everything we have to offer at our huge new retail and wholesale location on Bakery Lane.
All righty. Thanks again to Shomari Talbot-Woolridge for joining us this morning. Again, if you appreciated the conversation, find it helpful, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. This was 900 episodes of the Daily Hour, and we appreciate all the support. Thanks again to the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can have these conversations with you on a regular basis. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, here's your question of the morning. It's music today. First person to get the answer correct, and that answer must show up on my screen first, will receive, the opportunity to be eligible for this week's prize. Here we go. Here's the question. Very easy. Any hip hop heads in the audience, you've got this. Who was the only female member of Junior Mafia? Wow. Wow, look at that. All right. Headline Swan said Kim. Roslyn says Lil Kim. should we give it to Head and Lean audience? Yes or no? Because it is Lil Kim, you know. Let us know, audience. Should we give it? Should we give it to Head and Lean? And while you all decide what Head and Lean enters, I'll just wrap it up and say this. Look, 900 episodes down. You know, Emily Gill says, congratulations on your 900th episode. You're providing a much needed forum for the exchange of ideas on our beautiful island home. I want to say this, and many of you don't know because you can't see what I see on my side of the screen. But since January, we've had our largest daily audience than we've had in the almost 4 years we've been doing this. And that's because of you. You're the ones engaging and making this fun, and you're the ones that are sharing this and liking and loving this and bringing other people with you. So everyone who's just begun to tune in as of January, we definitely appreciate you making us a part of your daily routine. It's appreciated, and we need your feedback. Continue to let us know how we can become a better platform to engage you about things that you care about, things that you believe will make Bermuda a better place for you, your family, and your community. Okay, Head and Lean wins it. So Head and Lean, you win it. You will be in the draw tomorrow. Look, I guess I have to give you guys a daily inspiration, right? So let's give you a daily inspiration. Where's the daily inspiration, audience? I thought I had one. All right, here we go. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. And that is Albert Einstein. All right, so take that risk, folks. Take that risk. Take that risk. Again, do us a favor. If you haven't already, whatever platform you're on, give us a like, a love. Make sure you subscribe. Again, I just want to give big props and a huge thank you to Mark Arthur C. Phillips, who is a contributing member financially to the show. You too can contribute financially if you choose, either directly through the Daily Hour. You can email engage@thedailyhour.com if you choose to. Also, just by signing up on YouTube. So thank you, Mark, for being a day one and a financial contributor to what we do. It is greatly appreciated. The work that this team does is not easy. Don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Windows, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we would do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.